check to see if it's going live. I don't know if it's. Says it's live. Says it's live. We're live. I don't know. I don't know. It's your wireless sucks, dude. I'm telling you, it's just not. Your wireless sucks.
You need to update it. Have you got the newest 5G shit, whatever?
Right. Go ahead. You're live. Just wait. You gotta wait for it to go on. I know. Don't worry about it. Steve, it won't go live till the countdown hits. Till it goes to 0, and then it'll fade into us. Can I hear you right now? Yes. Both of our mics are live.
Boo. Hey,
Whoa,
we're
that was
here.
loud.
I'm loud. Hello, everybody. Welcome to number 2. I mean, the second episode.
Who? Number 2. No, I think number 2's right.
Okay, number 2 episode of Love and War Show. I'm your illustrious host. Steve Blaze is my sidekick.
Ed McMahon.
This is killing me here. Wait, how do we turn this volume down? Because there's a delay on this thing. Help me out here. Hold on. These are the funny things. These are the outtakes. Turn the volume down on this. How do we do that? Okay, you're not getting any sound.
Yeah, we are. We're getting sound now.
All right. That was Al, by the way. Al over there by the rabbit cages.
We should be getting sound now.
Well, let's see. You can't hear you. Is everybody hearing us now? Everybody's saying no audio. Can you hear us now?
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Are we getting sound now?
No guitar. Now you are. All right. That's why we need you guys at home so bad.
And I'm really confused over here because I'm controlling the camera, the mics, and all the other BS involved. So.
Okay, here we are. We're back.
All right, we're back.
I'll say that all over again. Hi again.
We were just looking for lip readers.
Yeah, that's good.
So, something like that.
We're glad to be here. This is number 2 here, and this is we're going to talk about anything you want, but it's got to be about something we know a lot about.
Well, they just missed the first 5 minutes of us talking about Game of Thrones.
All right, Game of Thrones. Okay,
back to the
first of all,
funny stuff.
hold on, look. Team Stark, okay? Dragon necklace, dragon ring. What else?
Flash Gordon.
Flash.
Oh, wait, Game of Thrones. Okay,
Game of Thrones,
right,
not
right,
Flash
not
Gordon.
Flash Gordon. All right.
Game of Thrones. So you know where my heart. I had something. Oh, alligator wristband. So I'm all about
Does
that.
that have anything to do with Game of Thrones?
Yes, alligators. They remember that one episode where the alligators
I do not.
took over the world for about 5 minutes.
I think
So,
you're.
now here's the deal, though.
Show.
Don't ask anything technical because I haven't seen 7 yet. I just got HBO so I can record 8.
Oh.
I finished 6 last night. I have to binge watch 7 all this week so I can get up.
So now I know what I can tease you with, right?
But I'll tell you,
I can
have
give
you
some
seen
sense.
it all? Have you seen the whole
Oh
thing?
yeah, I'm caught up.
Yes.
I'm caught up. I'm gonna have to watch that refresher thing.
Okay.
You know.
All right. And this is Steve Blaze Pop Vinyl. So he's going to sit right here and make sure you guys behave at home. And say hello to George. Remember George from last week? He's filled up with Dr. Pepper this week.
Only Steve would get his own pop vinyl.
Mm-hmm. It was a gift, son.
Yeah.
It was made. And people wanted to buy these. And the guy that made them.
Son is my word.
Look, the guy that made them committed suicide right after he made them. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, he just decided he was getting out of business.
How many times did you have to send that thing back to get it
Well,
done correctly? It is anatomically correct. Look at the size of the head.
Look at that. No, because I don't. That's a cute little butt on this guy right here. So they got it kind of right there.
Well, then
The
anatomically
guitar.
wrong.
There you go.
Well, no, it's anatomically correct in other ways.
Oh, you're a funny dude, bro. So anyway, we also have a special guest today, coming in a little while from my ghost hunting team, The Veil. Mr. Dave Young is going to be here to talk about scary stuff and all that good stuff.
He had to leave. Dave has left the building.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, his manager said we could have him for 5 minutes. And
Yeah,
that's it.
and we couldn't
And
afford
we couldn't afford it. So let's see who's up watching right now. All right, guys. Is everybody? I think we're talking about Game of Thrones. Yeah, we were talking about Game of Thrones.
Oh, we do have a lip reader.
Charlotte says she's the only person on the planet who's never watched an episode.
Did you see the meme going around on Facebook that there was going to be somebody that would say that?
No.
That was Charlotte.
Was it? That was her? She made that
Yeah,
up?
that was a meme for her then.
Wow. She's famous.
She's famous.
We'll have to get her on the show next week. Say hi to Big Al in the corner. Al, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, people?
We don't have a camera for Al, sorry. So we drew a picture of Al. We're
It's
just
such a shame, yeah.
His management didn't do a very good job of negotiating his deal, so he didn't,
Yeah.
didn't get the face. I'm sure he'll walk in front of the camera.
But I do have,
yeah, at some
I do
point,
have
sure.
the tallest chair.
He's got the tallest chair. Yeah, he does.
There you go.
All right, so we're good. So you guys can hear us now. Good. That's awesome. So let's talk about something, guys. Tell us what you want to do. In the meantime, we're going to take some questions, but just to kind of give you an update of what's going on in the rock and roll world with Lillian Axe. We are getting ready for our show in Jackson, Mississippi on May the 11th at Bonnie Blair's. And that's going to be in Jackson, Mississippi. Bonnie Blair's May 11th, Lillian Axe. And in 2 weeks from yesterday, Sledgehammer will be doing our first show with the new drummer Danny King and Josh LaRose guitar in same place, Jackson, Mississippi at Bonnie Blair's.
April
on
27th.
April 27th. That's Saturday night, 2 weeks from last night. So I'll tell you that the rehearsals the last couple of days have been going really, really, really well. So it's good. A lot of new stuff, a lot of new Sledgehammer songs, etc. And everything is going well. So yeah, Dave's going to be coming on in a little bit, and he's right now. I'll let you tell him he just got a gift of Wes Craven's script for one of his movies. It's very cool. And I didn't know Dave could read, but I'm impressed.
I just took an online course.
I think there's pictures. There may be pictures.
Lyle's asking me, what are my favorite rock bands? Wow, that's Al needs a bobblehead.
I see your live feed there's slowed down, right?
I guess so. I mean, you're the technical guy. You're supposed to.
Am I? Well,
All right, here we go. My favorite bands. Well, that's a really hard question. I'm really, I judge bands a lot by not only the material that they put out, but it really does have a lot to do with their attitudes, the way that they have built their brand, the overall vibe of the band is very important to me. That's why I always stick with the greats that have been around for a long time, like Queen, Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, Scorpions, the bands like that not only have they been around forever, but they've maintained their musical integrity. Things that every time I hear a song, it takes me back to a place, and these guys are still doing it. There are a lot of bands that have come and gone, members change. I don't really, it doesn't bother me with members changing in bands that much if it's a good replacement, because like in any relationship in life, things are going to change. You are going to get new friends, lose friends, family members, pass away, things occur in life, you have to roll with it. But in the band situation, it's really all about keeping the integrity of the music. So when I look at bands that I really, because man, I can name 1,000 of bands that I really, really enjoy. I always go back to the ones that have had long histories and have maintained their musical integrity. However, as you know, we've met them quite a few though, bands that we really liked, and then we met some of the members here or there, and then all of a sudden it was like, a witch burning when I take their albums and put them in the fire and burn them,
right.
Just because you get so upset. That's why it's very important for us to always be honest and cool and true and nice to people. So, have you ever met anybody that you didn't like besides me?
Well, okay, you just gave that one away. I mean, I work in the film industry, so yeah, I have met quite a few people I did not like.
All right, can you say somebody? All right, give me hints. I guess, and if I guess it right, then you just adjust your glasses. Like, okay, what actor did you ever meet an actor that you thought was really, you loved his work and stuff, and then you heard him talk, or you met him? Oh, you met him, okay? Because you met a few.
Right. Well, let me think.
Something.
Yeah, I do.
All right,
I'm trying to how to go about doing. Okay, the the movie is something about this city, Dallas, and he was a buyer, and he was in a club.
Um,
Hmm.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, I didn't
Is that
say
it?
that. I just
Does his name rhyme with Flatthew Flaflanery? Was that? Would that be him?
That's actually him, Flatthew Flaflanery.
No, really. Was
I've
he?
heard this story.
Was he mean?
Um,
I thought the dude was
no,
supposed to be cool.
you know,
He looks really relaxed
he's
in
a,
his
he's a
TV commercials.
he's a method actor. Yeah, yeah. So
A meth actor?
a meth actor. Yes, he's a method actor. So
He
A
was
meth-
in his
200
TV
pounds.
commercial, he was really loving driving that car. He was really driving the car.
Oh,
That
that
was
is
his.
Flatthew
That was a
Flaflanery.
Flatthew Flaflanery. I didn't say that. Flatthew
Oh
Flaflanery.
Lord. Okay, so he was not very nice to you.
No, I mean it's all right. You know, I
I'm
guess.
talking about who's a real.
It's like you know these
Steve
rock
Howe.
stars when people come up and ask them for their autographs, you know, and they go,
Wait, Al has.
talk to my buddy Al.
Talk to my buddy Al. No, that's what I do.
Steve
Yeah,
Howe.
that's what I meant.
Steve
Yeah.
Howe was to this day
By the way-
meanest.
Wait, Al says what now?
Steve Howe, so to this day from
Steve
Yes,
Howe from Yes.
was the worst guy I've
He was
ever
mean.
met.
He was mean to
me.
you,
He was
Al. How
mean
can
to
anybody
Al.
be mean to Al?
No one was mean to Al. but
Were you
that guy
trying to
was
take
mean to me.
1,000 pictures of him while he was?
I just wanted one
taking a
freaking
beat?
picture. I'd have been happy with one picture.
Hey,
What?
you mind if I just have a pee, will ya, Al?
I
Just
just
take a picture of it.
I didn't throw his records away because I like the rest of the band. But
Yeah. No. Okay. I have a Steve Howe story. You ready?
Uh oh.
Okay. This is the. We should have a little thing that every time a story for me pops up, it's like
If I
story
knew
time with Steve.
if I knew how to work this thing, you know, like without you know, we got to get the audio correct first.
Okay. We
So,
gotta get a lot of things correct first.
yeah.
All right. So, here's my story. We did. It was in Houston, and they had this big benefit, right? And it was in the what was I don't know the name. It was a big arena, right? 15,000 seat arena in Houston, and it was a benefit for a company that did orthotics and prosthetics for children, right? Because people don't realize if you got a child that has a prosthetic leg or an arm, kids grow so fast at that age. They have to constantly, you know, you can't have a 12-year-old kid with a 2-year-old arm. So they've got to continue to replace the limbs with
Right.
something that grows with their body, right? So we were doing this benefit for that, and it was In Excess, Fleetwood Mac. I took pictures with Mick Fleetwood, Slash, Steve Vai, all the guys in Warrant and Slaughter and I can't remember who else. So it was tons and tons of bands from all genres, and they raised thousands of bucks for all these things. At the end of the night, the big thing was a all-star jam with the guys from Warrant, Slaughter, and Lillian X doing a bunch of songs together, right? And so we did that and raised a lot of money. As a matter of fact, the two biggest selling items were Slash's Les Paul and a free concert with Lillian X, which we did. So they raised all this money for these kids. It was great. So backstage, we're sitting there, and Steve Howe's just standing there, you know, with nothing to do. And some people came up and gave me a gift of a giant thing of chocolate chip homemade cookies, right? And so I'm standing there. I was like, great, good. So we get in the van, and we get ready to go back to the hotel, and Steve Howe was like, could I catch a ride to the hotel with you? I'm like, Steve Howe wants to take a ride with me? Yeah, come on, buddy, jump on in. He sits next to me, and I'm eat my chocolate chip cookies, and all of a sudden he goes, and if I could foresee the future, I'd have said no, because you were mean to Al in 10 years from now.
You know, if I would have had chocolate chip cookies with me, he probably would have been nicer
If
to
you'd
me.
had some cookies there, Al, you
Good
might have
Lord,
been nice.
Did you take a picture with him? Did you do?
I said, Steve, while you're chewing, open your mouth so I can get a selfie with you
Yeah.
and your open
And
mouth.
the open mouth,
cookies.
right?
Yeah. That was my Steve Howe story. Exciting, wasn't it?
really.
All right, what's everybody asking about? The scariest place that I've ever been? We're going to talk about scary stuff with Dave when he comes on in a little bit. How can we get satellite radio to play Willie Natcher? We go through this every week. All you got to do is bug the living tar out of people. You email, call, text, whatever you have to do to any of these stations. They do look at their email occasionally. Hey, you just got to ride them. You take on the radio stations and call and just not, Lillian Axe, of course, that's your first priority, but everything else, anything you want to hear. Get these stations that are not playing a variety of songs, like some stations, which we won't mention, that play the same bands. songs over and over and over again. You have to let them know because the power is with you guys to continue to request what you want.
I don't know. My friend Nikki in Buffalo sent me a text with it took a picture of Lillian Axe on, I can't remember what network that was, what station that was. I mean, they
What?
do. Yeah.
Yeah, they do, of course. Yeah,
Right.
but and they also
Oh,
play the same.
You only
have-
to get a House of Hair, right? Get Dee
Hair
Snider,
Nation.
Hair
Oh yeah,
Nation.
Dee Snider. Dee's played us in fact. He's great. Alice Cooper has a show too. Hair Nation had they play us occasionally, but I know not nearly enough, of course. All right, when are we playing M3 in Baltimore? Good question. We should be playing M3 every year, but I actually have my agent checking into it right now. Hopefully, we get on there soon. Joe Anthony says he once had an experience walking upstairs and a cold hand on my neck after. He was the only one in the house. Joe, move. Okay, next.
That wasn't Al coming up trying to take a selfie.
With my cold Diet Coke.
Well, no, seriously, Joey, in situations like that, is that the only time you've ever had anything happen to you in that house? Is it just a rare occasion? A lot of times in places that we go to, you wind up finding that these locations have been built on limestone or there's history in the past, sometimes built on top of burial sites and whatnot. And we feel that the energy is absorbed there. That's happened not only in the last few hundred years, but you think about anything that happened in that place over thousands of years, organically, the energy is still there. So we never know. The most important thing is that you didn't fall down the stairs. Let's say, yeah, something may, like Dave was just saying, something may be trying to contact you, Joey. I don't know if you have any relatives in the house that passed or whatnot. All right. Ed Gwynn says, Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick was a strange guy. I'm sure you remember the time opening for Cheap Trick in Baton Rouge. Yes, that was way before we got signed. Lillian played with Cheap Trick. That was pretty interesting. But I didn't actually meet them that time.
He was nice to me.
Wow, maybe you just
And I didn't get
a lovable guy. He was nice to Al. All right, my thing's not. Well, here it is. Okay, who else? I met him. Okay, Lyle says I met him during filming of A Time to Kill. He was an okay dude. Who was in that? Is he talking about
Flannery.
Okay.
Wait, so I'm getting some text messages. Is the video lagging in this? Because we're going directly through the Ethernet. Are you guys able to see us? Is it freezing up? Anybody?
Let us know, guys. All right. We're getting some interesting questions here. Steve, this is Joe. Oh, my man Joe, what's up? Joe's a guitar playing demon at a young age. How old are you now, Joe? What, 14, 15? The funniest thing that ever happened to me? Jesus Lord. That's, how do you say that?
I don't know.
On a family-oriented show.
This is a family-oriented
Yes,
show?
of course it is,
Okay.
man.
I have no idea. They keep saying it's free. Our feed is
I'm
freezing.
wearing pants. Okay, it's family oriented. I don't know, Joe. I'll be honest with you. I have I can't tell. The funny, you got to let me come back to you on that because funny things happen all the time. What's the funniest thing that happened to you lately? Anything?
You caught me on that one.
All right.
I
The
don't
other
know.
night, my son woke up in the middle of the night, speaking in a different language
Yeah,
and laughing. I was
really?
like, I have no idea.
I can tell you a story about what happened to my father.
Go ahead.
He accidentally butt dialed Facebook Live when he went to the bathroom. So he went to the bathroom and he was on Facebook Live.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
How many views did he get?
I don't know.
Come on, man. You know that's the kind of stuff that goes viral and makes you famous.
all I know is I got like a call from New York going, get him off! And I just
Oh, that's terrible, man. All right. Andy says it's freezing and fading every other minute.
no, that is the,
Okay, I have no idea, guys.
Blaze internet connection.
No, it is not. My
Yes, it is.
Didn't happen last week.
I don't know, son.
I don't know. Maybe it's the bad weather.
It's sunny and beautiful.
It is
out.
sunny and beautiful. My favorite all-time venue to play. I'll tell you, my favorite place I think that we ever played. Favorite show is what's it coming
Oh, it's me.
from? Oh, okay. That's all right. I'm hearing myself talk.
Okay.
Those voices again. Tokyo, Japan was probably a highlight show. That was the only time we ever went to Japan, and we played in outdoor amphitheater near the Royal Palace there, and it was about 3,000 very well behaved Japanese fans, and they were insane. How they got all these people into this amphitheater in about 10 minutes. They were organized, and what they do is they stand up and they clap, and then they stop and they sit down. You finish the song, you stand up and they clap, and then they sit down. It was crazy, and they were just so appreciative. And afterwards, we went back to the Hard Rock Cafe to have dinner, and we walked in the venue, and there was about 100 little Japanese girls screaming and going crazy. And I looked behind me to see if Al was here, and and then and next thing you know, they were there for us. They brought him in there one at a time, and they were just like, it was really a humbling moment because one of them, I shook her hand and she like fell down and started crying. I was like, it was weird, dude. I mean,
that is weird. Really.
that is really weird, but
They
they
think,
did.
They think
They
you were
took-
Paul McCartney or something like
They
that.
said, "Oh,
Oh,
Billy Ray
it's
Cyrus,
Paul
nice to meet
McCartney.
you."
Paul McCartney. Please say
Travis Tritt. That's who I get. Everybody thinks I'm
Miley
Travis
Cyrus?
Tritt. Not Miley. Billy Ray Cyrus, Travis Tritt, the Executioner. All right. Do I look like the Executioner, the
Yeah.
wrestler? No, I don't.
I don't know, that bobblehead
Hey Todd, why are you being
thing you
such
have
a
in there
jerk?
looks just like you.
Say hello to Steve Bobley. Todd's kind of an a-hole, sir. He is. Do I remember a place in Houma called Brothers? Yes. We probably saw you there 10 times. Yep. I remember that place well. It had big giant. No, that was not it. It had a big giant there. Yes, that was Game of Thrones. See,
Oh,
kind of
you got it all.
the quarter note, yes. Biggest jerk of a rock star I ever met. This was Carl. Was Michael Schenker. In the time it took for him to explain to me and two others waiting by the back door as to why he could not stop and how things like this must be structured. He could have signed 2 CDs or albums. We would have been very happy. Well, he's German, so they're very structured. You know.
He was nice to me also.
He was nice to Al too. Okay, so.
Little Steve brought me a little Coke.
Here's your coat, Todd. How come my bobblehead talks like that?
I don't know. You're the one that made the voice up.
I'm gonna do another one. Cool,
No, I think you should go back to that.
Hello. All right, so who else out there had a bad situation with an actor or a rock star? Let's see. All right, are we really freezing up like this?
Apparently
That's what
so.
they're saying.
All
I
right.
noticed lag, but I didn't notice.
All right.
freezing,
Well,
but
y'all just
I
gotta
think that-
help us out. Just deal with it.
I'm not getting in.
Okay. We're having a little bit of technical problems here. But
Is your phone signed into?
Nope. Not at all. It's signed, completely signed off. But so all right. Also, we wanted to talk about Todd's weekend.
Am I?
Well, you're not using his.
I'm not using any.
No.
Not using a bandwidth.
Shouldn't be unless you logged into his
I
Facebook.
have no idea. We're running directly into his modem. So.
Todd, tell me exactly about your weekend. Why was it so?
Because I didn't
stressful.
do jack shite. I didn't do anything.
Oh,
we went to a farm and we hung out on a farm and we rode tractors.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
What did you do on the farm?
Rode tractors. Didn't get on on Facebook.
That's why you didn't take my calls last
Didn't
night.
answer
I was
my phone
trying
calls
to
either.
ignore them calls. Yes.
Wow.
Oh no, it was a bad connection. A really bad connection.
Yeah, that.
That's why I didn't take your
Yeah, I
phone
called
calls.
you last night too, bud.
That's why,
Oh, we're in the
just
middle.
like right now, we're having a bad connection because
I was
Yeah.
thinking, what about video games? Doesn't he go online to play his video games?
no,
He may be sucking down the bandwidth.
he's not on.
He's YouTubing.
Could be. All right,
That'll do it.
Al, come take over for a minute. Let me just see if I can.
Here, I'll go get him. I'll go get him.
You want me to-
I'm gonna pause for a second. Hey, Dave, come on out.
All right, guys, this is a good enough time to
Yeah,
bring
there
Dave
you go.
on. Everybody
Perfect.
from the Vale, come on over here. Come around this way, Dave. This is a huge studio we've got here. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dave Young.
Gotta be careful. Oh, I'm a clumsy guy here.
He can hunt ghosts, but he can't sit straight there. Talk to that mic there, Dave.
Testing 1, 2.
What's going on, buddy? How are you, man?
All right, how y'all doing?
Good, man. All right. You got your phones on? Let me give you a little history on Dave Young. Dave Young and I met about 5 years ago when I was 6 years ago. You sound like Brian Jones now. I've been in a band for 47 years. Dave has been doing paranormal investigation for how many years now? 30 years? 30 long?
Well,
More than that?
my first one was in 1971, but that was kind of an amateurish one. But really, since the 80s, I guess, 84, mid 80s.
Wow.
And
Hold on a second. Technical difficulties. What?
The
Okay, did you tell him to get off of him? Todd, sit right here.
the
Todd's going to take over. Talk to
bandwidth has
Dave.
been used.
Tell
Anyway.
Dave about your history, buddy.
All right, right. Well, my first one, I was 19 years old, 1971. It sort of tells you how old I am, but kind of helped out, determined there was a ghost in a house in Harahan, and the people that I helped out with, I guess I didn't realize they were going to move once they found out. And this house was so new, you could smell the carpet and the paint. But once they found out that there was a guy who died on the property back, some time prior in a fire, they didn't want anything to do with it. So that was a lesson learned. I got to temper my enthusiasm when I'm talking about ghosts to people. But what really got me back into it is the Myrtles Plantation. That is like the Mount Everest of haunted locations, and it's right in our backyard. If you're a mountain climber and you live near Mount Everest, you're going to go to the mountain. So we've been there quite a few times. Steve and I actually did a investigation there for Home and Garden Television, America's Spookiest Homes. It was quite. I think we were just props, though. The producers just wanted us to look like we were investigating. They didn't use any of our evidence. It was just. But we gathered so much evidence that night. Amazing place.
Can't keep talking, Dave.
Okay. Get rattling.
We figured out why the internet connection's not working. So just keep.
Well, I met Steve. I got a phone call from him. It was great. His daughter Brittany was taking an art class at Delgado, and the teacher there is a good friend of mine. And Steve played some songs and stuff, and he mentioned about his show that he was trying to put together. And Kimberly, the teacher, said, "Oh, you need to talk to Dave Young, and see about maybe he can help you out." And that's the rest is history.
Yep, and so here we are many, many years later, and we are still, as we say, that far away from our show getting picked up. But Dave, tell them they want to hear. You know what? Go grab my phone off the charger. We're going to play an EVP for everybody.
Okay.
Dave and I, what do you think is the best EVP that we ever received?
Oh God, I love you. The one at Woodland Plantation where the man was complaining about his spiritual ghosty wife. Nightmare woman.
Nightmare Woman. Now, we've been to the Woodland Plantations, 3 times?
Yeah.
And there was a little boy when he was 8 years old or so, and he died unexpectedly.
Yeah, we don't know how he died, but his mom was so despondent because she had this child late in life, and this was back in 1916. And when the child died, she was so despondent she ended up committing suicide on the property. And the little boy is seen quite a bit. Matter of fact, he communicates in a way that's kind of unique. He likes to play with window blinds. He'll adjust them, move them around, making them askew and stuff like that. But we watched one time where he was just pulling out the slats, on the blinds, and then he would push them back. It's really a fascinating place. But Steve ended up getting an audio of EVP of the young boy.
The little kid was saying, be nice to mom.
Be nice to mom.
I'm
Yes.
trying to find it. I wonder if I can get this.
Well, he also thanked you for bringing a ball, didn't he?
Yeah,
he got thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Yeah.
And that's where we got the Nightmare Woman. So I'm going to try to find it for you guys because I know you'd like to hear a real EVP here.
Yeah, we've had some interesting cases.
Let's see.
We helped a family down in Homa for a while, and that we picked up a child there that was estranged, and there was no history of any children dying on the property, so that was kind of strange.
I'm going to play the Nightmare Woman EVP for them.
Okay, cool.
Tell them about the man with the two women that people kept seeing there.
Yeah, there's the guy who built the house back in 1830. His name was Bradish Johnson. He's quite a character. He's interwoven into New Orleans history quite a bit. He had owned a lot of property. His dad was a river pilot, but he was also a pirate, and he became quite rich working with Jean Lafitte and selling slaves. And Bradish Johnson became rich, and he had walk around the house, and he looked like a pirate. He had striped pants and everything like that, and he worked with a cane. But he is seen with two women in the house.
Several people, right?
Yeah, several people have seen
This
him.
is what we picked up here. You can hear the voice say Nightmare Woman. And this is a true ghost. You ready, guys? Did you guys hear that? Let me know.
I heard it. It was pretty cool.
One more time here. Here we go. Ready? That is a spirit from Nightmare Woman. Now, what is he saying, Dave? What do you think he's saying?
Well, coincidentally, there's another investigator went there, and he got a similar recording with the same voice, and the man says she's trying to kill me. So he's got marital problems.
He's got some issues with women.
So he's in an eternally menage a trois. With two.
Family show.
It's a family show. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm going to play another one. This is the time we went to Fort Jackson. We went during the day to kind of scout the place out, to come back and do a full investigation. Now, there's no electricity whatsoever. When you're in the fort itself, it's dead as a doornail.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, you can't hear anything. There's no electricity. Dave and I walked into one room together, ran the recorders, and within a minute, we captured this one. It's a voice whispering Timeless. Now, the tricky part about this is when you listen to the recorders, which record in stereo, you can hear the voice travel all the way across from left to right, so it goes Timeless. But I'll let you guys hear the Timeless. Now, listen to it right away. Okay, so you heard that, Timeless, and then you hear my voice right after that. Here we go again. So, pretty creepy stuff, guys. So everybody did hear it. I'm seeing that you guys did hear it.
Yeah, I have an audio captured at the Myrtles. It's on my phone, but it's across the room over there. But it says, "I hate you," and I joke often that I can't even please dead women. But there was so many great audios that Steve was communicating at the Myrtles. I mean, you asked, "Do you like being here?" And the woman very terse answered, "No."
Yep. And then there was the time that we were doing. He and I were asked to do an investigation for HGTV for America's Spookiest Homes.
I was bringing that up early while you were out of the room, but
then we heard a door slam. We ran down to see what it was, and I said, that was very impressive. Can you do something else to impress me? We captured a woman's voice saying Jude, which is my son's name. So that in itself is
that's
pretty interesting. Freaks most people out.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. I got
doesn't really bother me. So okay, you guys did hear that. That's good. Chris, your son, says don't forget about the EVP from HGTV. Right, we talked about that in the Bradford Suite. Thank you, Anna, for the compliment. Appreciate that. Detroit misses us. Yes, we miss Detroit too. So trust me. Harpo's. Oh gosh. The Ritz. Lots of great places on there. So, and on the farm. They're making jokes about you farming, Todd.
I just step in front of the camera.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all right. So
I just L you guys.
Find these files.
So if anybody has any questions about the paranormal and ghost hunting and all, this is probably as good a time as any to ask them while Dave is here. And hold on, George. Nothing better than Dr. Pepper, man. A little bit of Robitussin. So, Game of Thrones comes on in 2 hours, right? Everybody excited about that? Is there anybody out there that could care less about Game of Thrones?
There's
Besides
quite a
Charlotte.
few- There's quite a few
I
people.
am waiting.
Quite a few people
What
out there.
else? What other shows out there have
Vikings is
made
awesome.
this kind of excitement from people?
Vikings.
I've never watched.
I don't think
Vikings.
anything's I love Vikings. Vikings is my all-time favorite. Nothing has seemed to
Dark Shadows when I
cause
was
this
a kid.
cause this kind of like worldwide phenomenon.
In their Facebook. Dark
That's
Shadows
what
was-
I'm at. The question.
The Love and War show.
Besides the Love and War show, 60 billion viewers.
They just the viewers dropped down because I'm off camera.
Do they really?
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Oh,
We do have a question here. A couple of people want to know: have anybody ever been touched or injured by a ghost?
I have. There was one house that I did in Bush, Louisiana, that went on before I met Steve. It went on for considerable time. I actually got punched. My health was affected. I got sliced in my foot. You do get sometimes you do get injured. Sometimes I mean you get pushed, and hopefully you're not at the top of the stairs, so you go tumbling down the
That
stairs.
usually doesn't.
No, it doesn't bode well. You always hold on to the rating. But overall, it takes a lot of energy to transform that energy to cause injury like that. It's rare. It does happen. Fortunately for me, it hasn't happened to me that much.
No, we did have one of our techs got scratched a couple of times, drew some blood. Fred got touched. Didn't Fred get
Yeah,
scratched?
Fred got scratched across the back of that house up in
Right.
up north of Zachary.
Yep.
I got touched by Marilyn Monroe several times.
Yeah.
In your dreams, brother. That's a strange thing. I mean, that house that we did north of Covington, before the priest was coming over to do a blessing of the house, I got to talking to the client and how he met his wife, and they knew each other from high school and stuff. And I showed him a picture of my wife, and he says, "Oh wow, she looks like Marilyn Monroe." Yeah, you do, babe. You look like Marilyn Monroe. And so I held
Marilyn
it up.
Manson, you said?
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. Okay. all right.
It's Karen's.
Be nice, Karen's
Karen's
beautiful.
gonna,
All right.
yeah. And so he had a photo of Marilyn Monroe up on the wall, and so I held it up. I said, something in this photo, she does look like her and stuff. And so I was ready to go. The priest was going to come by. I didn't want to be around when he was going to bless the house. And right when we stepped out on the patio, all of a sudden we heard a crash, and that Marilyn Monroe photo was across the room, smashed against the wall.
Oh my lord.
And it's like, it's like, what the, I guess it's like, oh, your wife looks like that? Well, I'm going to go, smash it. Well, and they had 287 straight days of paranormal activity. And after the priest, Father Brian from St. Peter's came in, they haven't had any.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear that? That wasn't me. That was actually a ghost.
She's going to perfectly
So,
good.
somebody here says, have you ever been to King's Tavern in Natchez? You
I
heard
have. I haven't investigated that. It's
Okay,
quite a
well,
place.
put that on the list there.
Yeah.
Robert said that his best friend spent the night there. Robert, you guys have anything happen there while you were there? Let us know about that. I think that the only time I really was ever touched was because if I go in a room and Deborah says there's something in here with us, I put my arms out. I'm like, please come touch me or whatever. And I felt several times serious, like static electricity
Yes.
go into my arms. It's pretty interesting. But every time I do that, I get like a melancholy feel, like a sadness, not like depressed or whatever, but kind of like you're sympathetic to whatever that energy is. And it's never been like bad and like demonic feeling like in some of the places we've gone, but it's more like it's kind of like this calm sadness that you kind of feel.
Yeah.
Because maybe, and look, doing paranormal investigation is a totally inexact science. If anybody tries to tell you they know exactly what it is and they've got it down and they know this, they're not telling you the truth. We don't know. We're simply going in very inexact science. All we can do is, like I tell you, we will show you what we've got. We will give you a hypothesis and a theory on what we think it is. And a lot of that is from what we feel, what we've learned over the years, and what we have learned from other people. But nobody's got it down, trust me. But we feel like a lot of energies are trapped there. I think it's still like cognizant energy. I think it's not like just energy and like it's a piece of matter or whatnot. I think it's emotionally attached to the soul whoever was there before.
Yeah, there's different varieties of ghost. There's remnants. Remnants are people or spirits that immediately after they pass away, they have business to tend to. So they kind of hang around a little bit. They see if their family's okay. You know, they might hang on longer, and it says, you know, I'm buried in the backyard. You know, but the other really the ones that are kind of rare and they're kind of fun to work with are intelligent spirits. And those are the ones we get our EVPs from and the communications and stuff. But a lot of the residual energy might just be laws of physics we haven't figured out yet.
Right.
And just given the right set of circumstances and the right bit of atmosphere, they can play back something, and you know, either a sound because things absorb
Yep.
the energies and stuff, and you know, it's like the man with the bagpipe on the castle wall. You know, he plays at 9 p.m. every other Mondays or something like that. Given the right set of circumstances, I mean,
Right.
it might not be a ghost per se. It just might be a movie playing back.
Exactly. Well, you know, a lot of people have been asking about the team, the Veil, and it consists of myself and Dave, and a very integral part of our team is Deborah LeBlanc. Now, Deborah was I guess you would say, not just an acquaintance, but somebody you've worked with before in the past.
Yeah,
And-
I met her. She at that house in Bush actually.
Right. But she is not only is she a clairsentium, which is a clairvoyant, sensitive medium, but she also she's a fiction writer, correct?
She has a book out, just came out
Just came out.
yeah, it's called Voices. Matter of fact, if you go to DeborahLeBlanc.com/store, it's up there. You can get a copy of the book. She has several of them, over a dozen. She's a fantastic writer, but she is a phenomenal medium, clairsentient.
Right.
It's just amazing how she can.
Oh, yeah, and she
sense
loves
things.
to call you up at 4 days after investigation and tell you that something followed you home.
Yeah, yeah, she has done that.
That sounds like
before.
every time I go to a bar.
Oh!
Oh.
I always ride her about that because it was kind of a funny situation because that happened to me. I got a text from her at 11 o'clock at night to Steve, by the way, something followed you home from the Woodlands. And so and then I couldn't get her on the phone all night long. So we went all night long worried. And then the next morning had to cleanse the house and, you know, and it was crazy. But she is brilliant and glad to have her on the team. She goes into our investigations prior to us showing up, and we don't tell her anything about the locations. Basically, here's her address, show up. She walks in and gives all of her impressions and insight as to everything, and she is locked down tight. It helps us to not only figure out things and learn things about the location that we didn't know before, but it basically solidifies the stories of the people that have lived there.
Yeah.
Because many times, one of the weirdest ones was that time where she said, I kept hearing the Oscar Mayer theme song.
That was at Catherine Plantation.
Yeah. And come to find out, she's like, I have no idea. I just tell you what I see and hear and feel. And the owner of the plantation's name happened to be Oscar. So it's just.
Well, yeah, a little side story to that. She on the way she gets these contacts while she's driving there, or now husband drives her there, and she gets these communications, depending on and messages and clues basically. And like he said, we don't give the address or anything until the last minute, and she won't know anything about location. When she arrived, she said this is not the original location. It was moved here, and this is a plantation from 1790s and stuff. And it's like, well, I don't know about that. Well, it turns out the house was moved there in 1933. It had to move because the Mississippi River moved. What was interesting about it, she was communicating with this woman who was telling her that it's not right. That ain't right. That ain't right. There's something in this parlor that's behind a fake wall, and we didn't know. And then when the owner arrived, we got inside, and there inside the original parlor was a portable wall with a toilet.
Yeah,
remember? Yeah. And
most people don't really find pride in having a toilet in their own.
But I thought that was amazing that she picked that up. I mean, how would she know that? She didn't know anything about the location. She's an amazing woman. So yeah, go to her website, DeborahLeBlanc.com. She's a wonderful person. Does a lot of things for her community with the literary programs.
Also, she enriched. Tell them about the trail, the haunted trail.
Yeah, they have every Halloween period. They have it's called the haunted trail. It's the
Where is it? It's a
Scott,
Freight
Louisiana.
Trail?
Fright Trail.
Fright Trail.
Fright Trail, yes.
It's great. We went a couple years ago. We all went together, didn't we?
Yeah, it's on a 20-acre site, I think, and it's pretty cool. It's really fascinating.
You're walking in this large, like acres of woods and stuff like that.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
pretty creepy.
And it's for a good cause. All the profits, all the money goes towards buying books, like for deserving high school kids that end up reading a lot of books during the year. She'll end up donating these book readers.
Somebody just asked, how as a Christian do you believe that nonsense?
Oh, okay.
So
No
yeah,
disrespect, just one. No disrespect taken at all, Dirk. But I am a Christian man, and it's not nonsense. And it's not nonsense because I've experienced it. So when I experience certain things, see, let me tell you the first rule of being a smart man is being smart enough to know that you're not smart enough to know. I don't care if you take Stephen Hawking, your most brilliant people on the planet. They don't have a clue as to the truth behind existence and God and man and reality and the universe and what. None of us have a clue. Our brains are small. Our ability to understand everything is even smaller than that. What I do know is that there's nobody that's going to find out the truth until we move on, pass away from here. So what do? You try to take your life experiences, make the best out of it, live for the things that you think are right. Big term, respectfully, okay? And just because I do ghost hunting and believe that spirits do exist, it's not nonsense, man. It's not nonsense. What do you think? Why spirits and ghosts are mentioned in the Bible several times? The Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost. I mean, you have to stop looking at the ghost definition from the Hammer films of 1930s, okay? Spirit and a ghost is a soul. That's the way we look at it. So
I think even Jesus mentions in Luke, I think it's verse 29, chapter 34, or the other way around, when they were questioning his solidness and they touching him, he said, "Don't be afraid. I'm not a ghost. I haven't come here." And of course, I'm paraphrasing. Forgive me for not doing. But there's a couple of mentions of ghosts. When he walked on water, the terrified apostles. He says, "I am not a ghost." And the translation, spirit and ghost is the same word in the Greek language. So, it's the same thing depending on it's the American version or the King James version. They both mention ghost.
right.
And so it's not like we're it's unchristian. I mean, it is mentioned. So
It's just because you're a Christian doesn't mean that you don't things that we don't understand don't possibly exist. I believe in UFOs. It doesn't mean that doesn't contradict my Christianity.
No, I don't.
In the least bit. Do you think that God could not create other worlds? We're not set up to understand, and we got to quit putting ourselves on the level of God and the omniscient one and the creator of the universe. So worry about what we're doing right here. It's simple enough, and we've got enough issues to worry about without worrying about if you believe in ghosts. Does that clash with your Christianity? No, it doesn't. Not in the least bit, because being a Christian is about following God's rules and laws to the best of your ability, being a good person, treating other people well. When we go and look and try to find where spirits or ghosts or paranormal activity might exist, sometimes paranormal activity is not just spirits or ghosts. It's something mechanical, so to speak.
Yeah.
It could be something that is, there are demonic entities as well. Fortunately for us, we haven't run into anything that's, well, you have. But we haven't really gotten into anything. We've gotten into some bad spirits, into some entities that are, I guess you could say if you're in life, you were a mischievous jerk, you'd be one in death too as well.
That's how it works out. If you're an ass, if we're a family show, I can't
A-hole.
say a-hole.
You can say a-hole.
A-hole in life, you're going to be one in, in the afterlife, I guess. But what we do and what I've done all my life is to help people out and go and find the solution to the problem and try to find it. I know my pay grade. I mean, I can only go so far, and I bring in, whatever their faith is. A priest, minister, rabbi. I haven't had a Jewish one yet, but if there's one out there, I'll bring it in, and we'll just go ahead and help the family out and give them some sort of solace. But the priority-wise, it's important to find out and gather evidence and to find out, first of all, whether or not they have a paranormal situation or not, or if it's an overactive imagination.
We do it because we're helping people out.
Right. Yeah.
And no, look, hey, and Dirk, look, I know you're just saying thanks, no disrespect, man. And I don't take that, man. I appreciate you bringing that up because I'll be honest with you, I've been at church several times and I've gotten to the point where, I really feel like I want to go to talk to the pastor about this. Not because I don't, look, if I felt the least bit like I was getting involved in something that was not going to help other people, that was going to hurt me or my family or my friends, and we were delving into stuff like that,
Right.
then I would think I would handle it differently. But if we go into a location and there is a demonic entity there, and these people are being tormented by it, we've chosen to do it, of course, but it's our job to help them out.
Yes.
It's our job to get rid of that thing. And you know what? As a Christian, I got power over all that. So if I can go in there and help, and like you said, we know where we stand. There are people that are more knowledgeable on how to do exorcisms and stuff like that, and we bring them in if we need to do that.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes you find out if we go into a family situation, we might find out that either the one or both of the parents or maybe one of the children have the ability to communicate. And a lot of times spirits are looking for help, and they might end up showing up on your doorstep, and you don't know why they're there, and it turns out they've come to talk to you because they need help.
Yep.
And
Dave, they're saying get a little closer to your mic. So
Okay.
I can hear your sexy voice there.
hello.
But all right, I'm going through some more of these things. I just want to make sure we say hi to everybody. Hey, Andy, what's up? Dirk, thank you for the question, brother. Justin Rich, what's up, Justin? Great bass player, man. I haven't seen you in a while, but I hope things are going well. We had a Guy Gelso sighting on here too, drummer for Zebra, and used to be the drummer in Sledgehammer, now drumming for CG Squared. They hopefully be out pretty soon. And what's up, Mr. Guy? Hope everything's going well. All you guys know. Can I help you there, man?
Well, since I'm not actually on camera, I'm just gonna,
Well, Todd, we need to get Todd back in here because we.
Okay.
Oh, that's
all
all
of a
right.
sudden
I don't
our
have
ratings
shit to
went
say.
down.
Oh, I mean, stuff to say.
All right, scoot over, man. Here, look, we even got a cushion for you so you can.
Tall
Here,
enough.
let me sit there.
All right.
I will sit there and I'll hand over
Look,
the
if we can
reins.
get some more listeners here, we can get a better seats. Maybe I'm sitting on this like $9.99 stool from Lowe's. There you go. All right, scoot in here.
They spared no expense here.
Alvin, is it time to freshen up the drinks?
There was a Dave Young ass crack sighting just a second ago.
Uh-oh.
Right in the face.
All right, so when you talk, you're gonna have to get up on that guy. Right
No,
here.
you get up on that one.
Wait a minute, everybody, Al, come over here and let everybody see you.
Oh God.
Look at this
Not in there yet.
pure manhood right there, Al Moran. Al, I need a little more ice. Let's see.
You can't get any more Dr. Pepper
We
because
don't,
I
I drank the
drink
last
it all.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I didn't bring any more. Wait, we can't say.
Who bought that.
We can't say Dr. Pepper. We have to say.
Why can't we say
Oh,
Dr.
yeah.
Pepper?
Flock
Should
or
we say?
Snapper.
Should we say?
Because they're not giving us any.
Snapper.
Yeah, Flock or Snapper. Until they give us some this for the
Ain't getting
advertising.
us no scratch.
One of those fruity diet
How about if we
drinks.
just do mystery?
and bring-
we'll do mystery drinks.
Mystery
You
Bring
right,
one for little Steve down there. Little Steve.
Man, I'm getting tired of you. You're not much taller than him. Oh Lord, that's mean. I'm sorry. That's what you get, man.
What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at you.
Because Dave's taller than you and me put together. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, here we go, guys. Let's see here. Hello, Angie. What's going on? How are you doing? Well, wait. All of a sudden, we went crazy. There we are. This is.
It's called lagging. We're behind. See,
We
See?
are lagging.
we are lagging. There's a little delay. And by the way, we figured out what the problem was. Al Moran was playing Fortnite.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Al was
We'll
playing
blame it
Fortnite.
on Al. And not your son.
That was my son, right? Jude was
Is
playing.
Al your son?
Jesus.
You called me son
If
earlier.
Al's my son, I don't want to see the mom. It's from the lady from Shrek.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, something like
Okay.
that.
I can't see the notes, man. Where are my notes from people? Swipe left.
I don't know.
Okay.
See what
You done
anybody's asking
screwed it up,
questions.
buddy.
All
Let me
right.
see if I can bring up the questions here.
Thank you, Al. Oh, look at Al. Brought me my. This is Jude's. I can't have
Oh, you
that.
can't
It'll
have the
kill me.
Gatorade? Okay, hold on. How about sparkling coconut?
There's an Al
Sparkling
Moran right there.
coconut is good. Yeah, yeah. Al Moran sighting.
Al Moran
Everybody.
sighting. Yeah.
There he is.
You got your notes back.
There we
Is
are.
that what you call
Okay.
them?
All right. Yes. Okay. Here we go. All right. We got. All right. So.
I don't have as much to say as Dave Young.
Well, I was
this
just
guy
hoping-
can just talk.
You got to get him in here, man. Can we get in there, Dave?
Oh, now you broke it. Sparkling ice.
Oh,
Why did I
that's
know
so
you would
funny.
do that?
I didn't
And
mean it.
a lot
See,
of
we had
any of you that
sponsors.
went to the Blues Fest may have seen me out there today too.
All right.
Okay.
Coconut pineapple.
I was working.
We may be able to afford better mic stands.
Oh my lord.
Well, is Fred going to get us into one of those
Next time
locations
I'm
up
bringing
in
some
Meridian?
little pieces of wood.
Yeah.
He didn't have any in his yard, but I
Bring
have
the
stuff in
wood,
my
Al.
field.
Bring the wood.
So we were just talking about where we're going next with the
Pull
Vale.
on, that's the problem.
We're going to be going to
Devil.
the Ritter Jail, right?
John
Yes.
Ritter jail.
Yeah, I got invited there by the crew from Deep South Paranormal, and I was there a couple of Saturday nights doing a freelance with those guys and kind of scouting the place out. It's a Gothic jail set about 40 minutes north of Lake Charles, built in the early part of the 20th century.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just watching Steve go through my personal text messages.
Anyway, but they had a double hanging there back in 1928, and it is haunted, considerably haunted. It's an amazing place, but
We're going to go in there.
We're gonna
By the
get
way,
tri-
Todd, you got a note from the Blue Oyster Bar. They said you need to go pay your tab. I know. I'm just telling you what I read.
Did I leave my assless chaps there again?
Jeez, Lord.
I can say that. It's the interwebs.
Andy Malnar says, "What's the status on the Forgotten Art of Melancholy, which was an album we're going to put out with all the ballads on it?" And guess what? You know the word "forgotten"? That's a key word in this because we have decided to put that to the backside. I guess that's the back burner. I mean, the backside. Your chaps made me think of the back burner. The back burner.
Boy, he's thinking about my assless chaps, y'all.
Oh, Lord. And so we are not going to do that best of the ballads. It would be actually too much red tape to get permission from the early labels, from Universal, and to get all that stuff together. You know, those albums are already out there. I thought it would be great to have an album of all ballads on there, but instead we're going to put all of our efforts into the From Womb to Tomb album. And so we are going back in May, cutting more stuff on that. I'd like to show them the album cover. We can't do it yet, but it really looks good. The album cover is great. Todd did a great job on that. But so that's the status on that, guys. We are moving on with that. Hopefully have it done by the end of the year. But anyway, does anybody have any other questions for Mr. Dave Young besides?
Yeah, I've been trying. I'm sitting here. I'm not being rude. I'm trying to find a couple of EVVs. I should have had them lined up to play.
You got a picture? Show them your best ghost picture, Dave.
Ooh. Like we froze up again. Did we freeze up again?
I don't think this has been frozen for a while. On here.
I fixed it a second ago.
Yeah, but I messed it up a second ago after that.
Sure did. Probably.
Are we still
No, I
on?
think we're all right. Yeah, we're on.
We're good.
So, you got a picture, Dave? All right.
Well, this is actually me when I was a kid.
Talk a little closer to the microphone.
When I was a kid, so it looks like a
Is
weird.
that which one's you? Oh,
I'm the one who looks like he's smelling poop on the right.
on the right, smelling poop. Oh yeah.
Or on the left
Can
on
they
the
see
screen.
that?
Yeah, can they see that?
Todd, what can you do? What kind of magic can you do?
Oh wait, where am I? How's that? Wait. There we go.
Yeah, you can't see. But I look like I have an angel
About
covering
as
me.
close as I can get.
How
There
about
you go.
that?
There you go.
Can you see that? He has a white entity over his
I
face.
can't really see that.
Yeah, I can't come up.
What
Let me
if you
show
get
it. Let
what
me
if you
come
get
up.
like really close to the camera? Will it just blur it
No,
out?
no, I think it's just it's.
You want to show a picture of the jail? I was
It
gonna
should
show
have
them.
an entity in it.
Can you? Let me see if this one shows.
Falling
up.
again.
The DeRitter Hanging Jail. That's what it's called, correct?
Correct. Yes. Yeah,
And we're also going to what's the name of the theater in Meridian?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Fred's lining that up.
Fred Poole, who is one of our 6 members on our team, is setting up a theater in Meridian, Mississippi for us to investigate. That is going to be occurring very soon.
It's also the PV store up there where there was actually a disaster in Meridian, and they laid the bodies out in that store. And even Fred, who works for Vice President of PV, didn't even know that story.
Right.
Wow.
Any place where you lay bodies out is
It's always a good thing.
it's always
invest.
a good
Lay
thing.
the bodies on the floor.
That's all.
I know it's awful.
Sound like Travis Tritt doing.
I was trying to do Travis Tritt.
Come on, y'all.
Come on, y'all.
Put them bodies on the floor. Come on.
Is that who you get confused with? People
I
thinking
get
you're Travis
confused
shit?
with a lot of things.
Let me see. I should have lined these up earlier.
So, Game of Thrones is on in an hour and 45 minutes. And I heard that the first episode, the Smurfs actually come in. Oh, look at that. Oh, but they're not going to be able to see that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to
That's,
figure.
yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
That looks like a little Oprah.
Dave gets all excited.
Oh, I get all excited. Yeah, you can't really.
You can't really see that, but if you see it, it looks like a
If
baby
you go to
Oprah
the,
Winfrey.
yeah, if you go to the Myrtle's Plantation site, you can be able to see that. I mean, a little better. Maybe Al holds it up closer to the.
Al, see
No.
if you can do that. This would be
No.
interesting. This is how
Yeah.
technical we got. Let's see.
Oh no, it's too the light.
Ah,
Nah,
that ain't
nah,
gonna
don't worry.
There you go. There you go. Oh, you had it.
Go down, Al. Go down, Al. You see your
See a
tattoo.
little
You
girl-
say that all the time, don't
Oh,
you?
hush!
Little girl in the window.
Lord.
Little girl in the window.
Down some, Al.
Down some,
Down,
Al.
down. Right there. Hold on. Leave it right there. All right. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, I didn't take that photo, but I knew the person who
Down
did,
some.
and I ended up giving it to the Myrtles so they can, and now they show it on their tour, and they got it on postcards. I should have copyrighted the darn thing.
All right. I don't know if y'all could see that or not, but
Oh,
this is
I'm
fun.
But
Ever
I
since
think that's
Steve
the holy
grabbed my
grail.
mic.
Tony.
That's real. You know, it sounds like a tornado coming every time when you touch that table. Boy, that's a sensitive microphone.
Yeah. Sorry. All right, Steve.
All right. Very
Take
good.
it away. You guys talk while I fix this mic. While we fix the
But we
mic.
can hear that microphone really well. So, anyway, guys, we're getting ready to cut it off tonight because we've got to go
Watch Game of Thrones.
snacks together. No, I have to binge watch the 7th season in 2 hours. They can't. So I'm gonna be fast forwarding it, the whole thing. It's like, yeah, that's right. I can make it. No. But all right. So who do you think, or who do you hope, winds up getting the Game of Thrones at the end of this?
Getting the Game of Thrones.
Whatever.
Who's
Who's going to be?
I forgot. It's gonna be Jon Snow, right?
You think?
I think. Don't you think?
I would hope so. He seems like the coolest one on there.
Or is that sexist? Should it be Cersei?
No, I hope Cersei gets strung up.
Oh, I think
By her
the
eyelids.
Dragon Lady and Jon Snow are gonna hook up and become.
Aren't they
the
like
rulers.
brother and sister though?
Are they brother and sister? Well, there's already
No,
that
that's
going
Cersei and
Are you sure they're not from Mississippi?
on. Alabama.
Oh! Oh!
what?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
All right, I didn't say
All
that.
right, so my entire
Al,
wife-
Al said it. Al threw it. on.
Al's ventriloquism
Yeah.
skills popped in there too. No, I hope it's them because they're. Who do you want to?
I'm
see?
in Alabama.
Who do you want to see get killed? Cersei, right?
Well, Cersei, yeah,
For sure.
for sure.
Who else?
I
Has
want
Well,
the
the White
dwarf
Walker.
to be in charge.
the what?
The dwarf. He's
That's
the best
not
guy.
politically correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's what he calls himself on the
No,
movie.
the height impaired.
He's
The ceiling
Heightily
impaired.
impaired.
Heightily impaired guy.
Altitude impaired. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
He says reach for the sky.
No,
No,
he
he
is-
has something to stand on.
He is my favorite character. He is.
He is.
He's
Cool.
funny.
I want Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's creeping me out.
I think the best was when Ramsey Bolton got it, and the dogs ended up taking him out. You know.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was-
they ate him up, didn't they?
Oh
Yeah,
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 yeah. It
his
was,
own
I
dogs.
think everybody went yes.
My dogs won't eat me.
Okay, what about the scene that I just saw? I just finished where I am now is right when Cersei blew up the Sparrow, and that
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
That was
Yeah.
a great scene. And how did they not see that coming? That was like so obvious, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so that's where I am in this thing. I want her to go down. I want Littlefinger to go down. I want him.
Oh, I won't
torn
tell you
apart.
that. I won't tell you about what happened there.
No, okay. I don't tell you about how he got killed.
No, well,
No, I
you knew
mean-
he was.
All right. So who else is left after season 6?
Dude, I gotta watch a recap because I can't remember anything. I can't remember anything. You're like going through all this. That's because you've been
Right.
watching it.
Yeah,
You've been
It
binge
doesn't
watching.
matter. They can
So-
bring them back.
Well, maybe Hodor is going to come back.
Hodor would be
he'll
good to come back.
he'll become back as the one of the white guys and take over the throne.
Hodor.
One of the white guys.
No,
I
the
don't
white,
know where
the,
they came
what
up
they
with
call
the
the
name.
white zombies or
White
whatever they
walkers.
White Walkers.
Who
No, I
said-
know. I just thought it was.
Who said?
I'm just
Let's
being
name the guy
facetious.
Hodor.
You know, hold the door.
John
Hodor.
and Hodor. Now, that guy must
Kinda
be
hoe.
from Mississippi. Look at Hodor.
Hodor.
I mean,
Hey,
it
by
was-
the way, did you see my new mic stand? It's,
My
it's
new
called
Al
an it's
stand?
called an Al.
It's just kind of creepy the way he's
I'm-
holding it.
I'm kind of used to holding. Oh, wait.
He's kind of used to holding
All
shafts
right,
for people.
All right.
It's a family thing.
All right,
I
guys.
didn't see rated.
That being said,
Okay.
we're getting out of here. All
Yeah.
right. We're not going to be here next week because it's Easter.
Now I'm out of town for like 3 weeks.
Who
I'm
said you had to
I'm
be
filming.
there?
Well,
Oh!
well,
We'll try
I'll
to
have
get
the
to work.
camera with me, so.
Well, I'm happy that y'all had a chance to have me on your show.
I am too, man. I
I'm delivering.
want to
eggs.
say thank you to Mr. Dave Young.
Egg delivery.
Claps. Thank you very much.
Golfer collab.
Yep. So don't forget, 2 weeks, Sledgehammer in Jackson on the 27th at Bonnie Blair's. And we'll be back in 2 weeks, guys. Have a great Easter. Be safe. Remember the reason for this season, what Easter's all about. Be nice to each other. Be cool and respectful. And we'll see you then.
Peace out.
Bye.
Peace out. Hold on.
There we are.
Are we still live?
We're live. You're not supposed to say that.